Good evening to everyone. Thank you all for being here this evening. Laguna Madre Water District notice of a regular meeting, Board of Directors. Notice is hereby given of a regular meeting of the Board of Directors of the district to be held at 105 Port Road, Port Isabel, Texas, on the 26th day of March 2014 at the hour of 6 p.m. for consideration of the business of the agenda below. This notice is posted at the office of the district on March 20th, 2014 at 10:30 a.m. in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act, Texas Government Code 551-041-551-050, and a copy furnished to the county clerk at Cameron County, Texas. We do have the presence of a quorum. All members are present this evening. If I may please have everyone stand for item 2, the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Item 3 is invitation to the audience for discussion. At this time, does the board have anything they'd like to discuss? Anything they'd like to share?
Just want to mention
Staff,
one thing,
yes?
that we do have Long Island Village represented here, and they're more than welcome to be here today.
Yes, I see that. I don't know if one would like to speak or if all would like to speak.
I guess I could. My name is Richard Ramirez.
If you could please, Mr. Ramirez, if you'd come forward. If everyone would like to speak, then we'd probably need to get a sign-up sheet, or is it, I don't know what the agenda is, so we're, okay.
My name is Richard Ramirez. I'm a board member, present board member sitting at Long Island Village. We're here to support the irrigation project of the Pink Water or Gray Water Irrigation District. We've been in communication with Charles Ortiz, the engineer, and we're here just to support and anything we can do. We are in the process of getting negotiating or redoing the contract with Laguna Madre Water District and moving on. One of our concerns is I know that right now at the present time we're looking at engineering plans moving forward in the project, and I hope that's what's going on. I'm not presently 100% for sure what's going exactly where we are at that project or what stage we are at it, and also working with Mr. Ortiz on one of our concerns. I think he mentioned that there's going to be a study next month in April on the costs of the project and the increases. One of our concerns was on the contract there was no stoppage on the increases each year, and how exactly that's going to work with Long Island Village. But we're here to support it. I mean, at 110%. As you can tell, we're here in full force with our board members, our the directors and president, the treasurer are here to full force. And I don't know if you have any questions for us, basically.
First, I'd like to thank you and your fellow residents for coming in and showing us what your opinions are. It means a lot to the board. We like to hear the direction of what the citizens have to say. Charles, would you like to also echo and chime in? I know you've been working on this closely and keeping us updated.
Yeah, I just I'd like to express our thanks for your attendance and showing support. I mean, we're trying to look at alternative uses for our, getting other sources of water from our river, and we're looking at reclaimed water in Port Isabel and seeing how that water can be used to help change over the golf course to non-potable reeds. That'll be
right.
One of the alternatives that we're considering for some action items tonight. So just nice that we see the public express interest in the project.
I appreciate that. Thank you very much. But we are, I mean, at 110% in support of the project right now. When we first heard of the project from Mr. Ortiz, we got pretty excited about it to try to bring it across. Sir.
This is on using
Pink water irrigation for the golf course, or gray water.
Gray water.
Yeah. Gray water.
untreated water.
Yes, and part of what our upcoming study is with Carrillo and some other stuff with the water plant here. So it's all a big project, and it's all a work in progress.
Okay.
We are trying to.
So approximately what are we looking at a time frame? A year and a half, 2 years? A rough estimate. I don't want to pin you down on anything.
We're looking at about 3 to 3.5 years from today. So it's several projects at the same time. But the beginning of it is the master plan that they'll be working on.
Okay.
It'll take like 8 months to complete. Then thereafter, there'll be more projects coming in, planning and construction, design.
And we're also applying for some state grant money
Right.
and some other monies to help us with some of the expenses.
How does that look with the grant? Do you think the money's gonna be available for this
That's
type of
to be
project?
determined. I mean, all we're doing is soon applying, and then we're trying to get the applications in, get that done, and then once we can move along with our research and development of that, then of course we'll apply for the plant and some stuff. I mean, this is a bigger issue than just Laguna Madre Water. The state of Texas wants to see these types of projects.
Okay.
And that's
So they are
controlled by the
supporting-
Texas Water Development Board.
So the
And
state is supporting projects like this? at the
they're,
present
yes,
time?
they are in support of these projects, and
That's
they're
good news.
trying to get these projects going.
Okay,
They're loaning us the money.
There's some low-interest loans that have been
Great,
passed
good.
recently with the 509, what was the title of the, I can't think of the name of the legislation change they just had, the exact what it was.
But, as
SB4,
a-
that's what it was, SB4.
I'd like to mention, as we go along with these upcoming projects, we'll do presentations at Long Island. As information comes in, we'll be happy to go and do the presentations.
Yeah, I think Mr. Ortiz has already been there, out there with
Yeah,
us
I've been
twice,
there before.
yourself
About
also.
a year ago.
So I appreciate that very a lot. I don't know if any other board members have any questions at the present time? Okay, well, fine.
But
Appreciate-
your coming to us and giving us direction also encourages this board to move faster and more diligently too.
Oh,
So we
appreciate that,
encourage
thank you.
that, As we do with
If
all the
anything I
citizens.
can help you with, Mr. Ortiz has my information, and more than happy to work with the board. Thank you very much.
Thank you
Thank
again.
you.
I'd also like to welcome the Laguna Madre Leadership Class to our meeting this evening. Excuse me. I also am a participant of Class 1, so encourage y'all to be here, and thank you for coming this evening. Staff, anyone else before we close discussion? Okay, thank you for your time. Moving to item 4, consider and approve the minutes for the regular meeting of February 26, 2014. So everyone had a chance to review their minutes. Are there any questions or comments?
Move to approve.
Motion for approval by Mr. Garcia,
Second.
second by Mr. Keplinger. All those in favor?
Aye.
There are, none opposed, motion carries, thank you. Moving to item number 5, consider and remove from the table the following item tabled on the board meeting of February 26, 2014. Item, consider and approve agreement for professional services with Carrillo Engineers, Inc. for Port Isabel Reclamation Facility.
Motion to remove from tables?
A motion to remove the table by Mr. Keplinger,
Second.
second by Mr. Thomas. Item is now off the table. Moving to item 6, consider and approve the agreement for professional services with Carrillo Engineers, Inc. for Port Isabel Water Reclamation Facility. Charles, for discussion?
Yeah, this is just a follow-up from the workshop that we had discussed to discuss the, potential entry into this agreement in more detail. We're still proposing the request for approval for an amount of $284,948, and that's to get us through Port Isabel Sewer Treatment Plant Master Plan, which will include looking at the irrigation options for Long Island Village and Little League, plus the wastewater treatment in Florida, the local reuse project. And just one other update from this past Friday is Reclamation announced this funding opportunity on this past Friday, where there's a potential of this, the deadlines for the grant application are May 6th, and there's a potential of this being up to 50% reimbursement by Reclamation. So we'll be submitting that grant application by May, and the award will be this summer, but any expenses incurred after July of 2013 would be eligible as the local contribution. So that's a new update we just came on.
When do we have to get the application in by?
May 6th, about a little over a month.
If the contract with Carrillo is approved tonight, it's for $284,000.
Correct.
Correct.
Now, whatever work they do and expenses they incur with the grant, with this grant, if we get the grant, can it be retroactive?
Yes. Yeah,
that correctly?
I had that conversation with Reclamation, Bureau of Reclamation on Friday, and they did confirm that, yeah, it can become retroactive.
He just said anything from July 2013 could be.
Right. Yeah, that's the farthest back you can go to request the local match or.
Reminder, we've only applied for the grant, doesn't mean we
Yeah.
have been granted the grant.
Yes,
So a reminder.
because we might not make the cut, or, there's funding line, it's competitive grant, so we don't know if we're gonna get it or not, but we'll be, going after it.
A couple of questions came up during the workshop last week regarding reclamation, and one of them was, the amount that it was gonna cost, to go through with this thing, and what it was gonna cost the district to treat, this water to go ahead and make it portable again. And then the other question was, how are we gonna educate the public in regards to this portable water, because we're going to send it back into the system, and for the users to bathe with it and cook with it and all that. What are the plans of educating the public and letting them know that we're going to, reintroduce wastewater into the portable water system, and that it's going to be safe for them to consume and, wash their bodies with and all that sort of thing? Do we have something in plan?
Right, well, in their contract, we don't have a public relations firm. That's not included in this contract agreement. At this point, that would just be staff holding public meetings, or maybe similar to what we've already been doing with Long Island Village at their board meetings, but maybe applying it to other areas where we can explain the process, which we are planning to do advanced wastewater treatment system at Port Isabel sewer plant, which is basically adding microfiltration, reverse osmosis to remove the dissolved solids, and then disinfection. And then that stream is going to either get, returned back to Reservoir 3, or at the same time it can be sent to Long Island Village Golf Course and Little League for irrigation. And that's going to exceed a Type 1 reclaimed water requirement, because we're trying to treat the quality to be able to get a direct flow through.
But I think we need some data and some research based on what other districts and other MUDs have done, in regards to reclamation, how they have used it back into their portable water system, and how it's worked, with them. Has there been any issues of, TCEQ coming in and citing them or anything like that, that there was, high levels of contamination in the water because it was initially wastewater, it was treated, then made portable? Do we have any of that?
Well, the first project that was implemented was Big Spring, Texas, which is less than a year ago, and they do have a very stringent monitoring plan that they're required to do. And really, I talked to the general manager over there for the Colorado Water District Authority, the one who serves Big Spring and Odessa, Midland. Basically, what they're doing is they got a permit for it to be 20% reclaimed water and 80% surface. And that's what we're expecting is our rate would be about 13%, 10% reclaimed water, and the rest, 90, 87% being surface water. So we're well within that mixing ratio that they're using at Big Spring today, and they're in the process of getting their permit updated to 50-50, where it's 50 reclaimed water, 50% surface water they're pulling off the river.
And correct me if I'm wrong, but we, since this district's been started, I think we've been reclaiming wastewater from the Rio Grande anyway.
Right.
We've been bathing and drinking it for, I don't know how long, 50, 60 years already.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And
But
I
again,
think this is a real good program. I just want to make sure that, whenever we use water and it goes into the sewer system and then we pull it out of there to, blend it back into a portable water system, that we don't run into any health.
That's what the $10 million plant's
concerns.
for, really.
Yeah.
Well,
But,
that's the thing,
Then it
$10 million.
goes back
The study will
Anyway.
also show
The
and
study's gonna
discuss
show
that,
everything.
and we're not, this is the study phase only. We haven't entered into the construction phase, that's post-study.
Okay.
But we do have plans to educate, through the newspaper, maybe the Laguna Madre website, and then presentations like Long Island or South Padre Island, City of Port Isabel.
Because once the public becomes aware that we're doing this sort of thing, taking wastewater treatment, and then reintroducing it into the portable water system, questions are gonna come up, you know.
Right.
Am I gonna be safe, you know, if I drink tap water, or, you know, is anything gonna happen?
How
to me
many
if I
people there have
shower
been to
or
Las
anything?
Vegas? A few, I'd guess. They have a wastewater reclamation plant out there that is putting 15 million gallons a day back into Lake Mead. So when you're brushing your teeth in Las Vegas, guess what?
Using reclaimed water.
And this is, you know, we're just...
15 million gallons a day.
We're just entering into, to find out what the cost is gonna be, what the requirements will be from TCEQ and our regulatory agencies. This is, you know, when and if we decide to go ahead and do this, then we can address notifying the public what we plan on doing. But at this point, I think it's just, you know, it's too soon for that.
It's just a study. I just wanna put that out there, make sure, you know, that you all know, you know, what this reclamation water is and where it's coming from and where it's gonna go, and then eventually it's gonna be consumed by us again, either through bathing, cooking, drinking, or whatever the case. So, just throwing it out there.
I think this is long overdue, getting this going, so I wanna make a motion to go ahead and approve the contract with Corolla.
Excellent. Motion approved by Mr. Keplinger for approval of the contract with Corolla for $284,000. Is there a second?
Before you take the final vote.
Yes.
Is this the one that the attorney and myself worked out?
Yeah, the one that already has all the revised comments.
All that's approved, okay. Just want to make sure with the amended one. Yes.
There's been a motion for approval by Mr. Keplinger for approval. Is there a second? Is there a motion? There's no motion for a second at this time. Motion dies for a lack of a second. Moving on to item number 7.
Stay in the 19th century.
Consider and approve purchase of, I would like to have seen that motion carried. Item 7, consider and approve purchase of motor-operated control valves for Laguna Vista wastewater treatment plant reuse water improvements. Comments, discussions on item 7?
Who's going to, number 7?
We couldn't get a approval for a second on item number 6,
Number 6.
so died for lack of a motion.
Did you want to second
Well,
it?
was it removed from the table for you?
It was removed from the table, yes. Would you like me to recall the item 6 again?
No, I was just wondering, because I didn't hear whether
No,
you
they-
removed it before you all started discussing.
Mr. Vella possibly wasn't aware, so would you like me to recall it again? I will go back and revisit item 6, consider and approve agreement for professional services with Carrillo Engineers for Port Isabel wastewater reclamation facility.
I made the motion.
Motion made by
Sorry,
Mr.
sir,
Keplinger.
I think we're,
Mr. Vella didn't know where we were. Is there a
we're on
motion
to
for
the
a
next
second?
order of
Okay.
business.
We're moving on to, there's no second, so we're moving on to item number 7. Moving, or consider and approve purchase of motor-operated motor control valves for Laguna Vista wastewater treatment plant reuse improvements.
So moved.
There's a motion.
We gotta pay for them anyway, am I correct, Charles?
Yeah, that's correct.
Should,
Second.
There's a motion made by Mr. Thomas, there's a second by Mr. Garcia. So all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None, motion carries, thank you. Moving to item number 8, consider and approve the budget amendments as of February 28th, 2014. So everyone had a chance to review the budget amendments. Are there any questions on the budget amendments? I was one of the participants in the budget committee.
Move to approve, sure.
There's a motion made by Mr. Garcia for approval. There's a second by Mr. Keplinger. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Are there any opposed? None. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item number 9, consider and approve the financial report as of February 28th of 2014. So everyone had a chance to fully review the financial report. Any questions or comments about the financial report?
So moved.
There's been a motion for approval by Mr. Keplinger.
Second.
There's been a second by Mr. Vella. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
They are. Are there any opposed? None at this time. Motion carries. Thank you. Moving to item number 10, consider and ratify the disbursements as of March 14th, 2014. The disbursements were distributed via email. Has everyone had a chance to review those disbursements? And are there any questions on the disbursements? If so, please pull them individually. If not, can we get a motion for approval for all the disbursements?
Move to approve, sir.
There's been a motion to approve by Mr. Garcia.
Second.
There's been a second by Mr. Vella. Are all those in favor?
Aye.
They are. Are there any opposed? None. Motion carries. The disbursements have been approved. Moving to item number 11, the General Manager's Report. Item A, upcoming workshops.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman, as you had requested a workshop for April on the water and sewer rate study. I just want to ask the board, see what day, if y'all want to get together and discuss anything on that part, what day in April?
And we think we really need one.
Workshop for what? Rates and what?
If y'all decide to have a
Rate study workshop.
Well, I'm gonna be out of town on the 19th. We're gonna have a Saturday workshop, you know.
April, and when is Easter?
20th.
Oh.
And then I had the other workshop that you all might want to discuss the RO, anything that may come up, you all want to have both together at the same time or two separate? No, it's up to you all.
Well, the RO thing is just a disaster. It is.
Well, but we need to still look at it, visit and see if it's a
Yes.
disaster, what kind of disaster or what,
I'd like to put it all on one workshop personally.
When we were in Vegas, week before last, I went to all the workshops I could find that were either doing reclaimed water or reverse osmosis. And I've always been very leery of reverse osmosis because of what goes out of the plant is so caustic, the high levels of, well, let me put it this way, if you took a glass about that deep and passed it around the room, we'd probably all die. We can't dump it in the bay. This is bad stuff coming out of the plant, so we gotta pump it way offshore, or a possibility of deep well injection where you get it way down into where it filters back into the Gulf of the sand strata. And then these outfits from Costa Rica, Florida, the Pacific Coast, I think you were at that one, weren't you, Jeff? And they started talking about the problems they're having with the water coming into the plant and the debris. Well, gosh, I don't know if any of you have ever been in the Caribbean or the Pacific. Compared to our place, that crystal clear water is beautiful. The marine growth there is nothing compared. You put a post in the water here in 6 months, you got barnacles and oyster shells that big around. Over there you get, and all I was getting, I went to 4 sessions on desalination and I just left with really bad sinking spells. That's all I can say about that.
Okay, and that could be, you could bring that up in the workshop. The thing is that the taxpayers of the district during the last bond election approved and voted for funding a desalination
Yes, they did.
project as an alternative source of water. So because they did that, I think that it is our responsibility to go ahead and look into it. And if it's not feasible, well then at least we had a workshop and figured it out, and then we can say, it's not feasible for X number of reasons.
I have no argument with that, really. I'm just saying, I really felt, I wish you'd have been at those meetings, because I believe in desalination.
Yeah, but we need to look at it, study it, because it was a directive by the taxpayers to go ahead and look into a desalination project. So we owe them that. We need to do that.
We just shot down one tonight. We just shot down a desal project tonight, a study for it. So now you're saying you guys want one?
These are two different things, Jeff.
It's the same thing,
No,
desal
it's not.
RO, it's the same thing, Charles, am I right?
You're correct.
And I'm not saying, and I'm,
Reclamation and reverse osmosis.
Seawater was
It's two different things, and I'm not saying that the reclamation project is not a good thing, and I'm not saying that it's not gonna happen, you know, it just, didn't go through tonight, but, you know, this thing can be revisited again, depending, you know, how the studies come out. And all that, we do have an in-house engineer, they can do, and staff, they can do some of these studies too, and then bring it back.
Right,
But-
right. Well, just to give you an intuitive, cost, you know, magnitude, is water reuse will be roughly half the cost of a seawater desalination plant. And there's no sense studying an alternative because it's just an upfront thing that water reuse will be much less.
I requested the workshop, and I requested several items on the agenda for the workshop. I would like to move forward with the workshop. Those that would like to be in attendance at the workshop, it'll be a posted workshop and will be attending. Those that choose not to attend simply won't be there.
Pick a
So,
day, I just can't be here on the 19th. which
that's
is a
my
Saturday.
recommendation, so I suggest the 26th, which is
That being a weekend?
post-holiday, April 26th, Saturday, which is post-holiday. I'd like to establish the agenda of several items that we've discussed. Carlos and I have had that discussion.
Pick a day,
26th,
either.
April 26th.
Gotcha. Saturday,
Does
the
that work?
26th, right?
Okay?
Be about 9
I would
o'clock
like
in the
to,
morning.
the agenda has not been set. You have until 72 hours before the meeting for the final agenda. And I would like for everyone to bring those items and let's compile what we'd like to discuss. Thank you. Moving to item B, upcoming conferences.
I was discussing with Daisy on the two conferences that we have. One of them is in June for the Association Water Board of Directors Annual Conference in Fort Worth. It'll be June the 12th through the 15th. We'd like to have a head count and for registration. If you can let us know tonight or maybe tomorrow
What
through
is the
email.
conference on? I thought we were having one in Austin on our pension plan stuff.
Yes, we are. We're gonna have
This is Association
July
of Water
9th
Board
through 11th,
Directors.
that's the second one. That's the TCDRS annual conference, the retirement plan that we have here with the Laguna
That's
Madre.
July 9th through the 11th?
July 9th through the 11th, right.
Okay.
And I
what's
just
the
wanna
one
make sure
on,
that I presented these to you guys, so you can start setting up the scheduling of the flights, motels.
What's the one in June?
The one in June is
Association of Water Board
the
Directors.
Water Board
Conference.
Association Annual Conference at Fort Worth Convention Center. And it's June the 12th through the
Is there
15th.
anything there? Oh, like the one we had in Corpus.
Okay. Any other questions or comments about upcoming conferences? Okay. Thank you. Moving to item number 12, District Engineers Report. Item A, lift station number 19 expansion. Charles?
Alright, yeah, lift station 19, right now it's 54% complete. The contractor was requested by the landowner to stop work during spring break, but now that that's passed, they're gonna be returning to the site on March 31st, and they'll need about 45 days to complete the work. Pending work includes the piping between wet wells, electrical control communications, doing a new control panel, that's installing backup generator, and then they're gonna be starting their bypass to, get to the new wet well location, and then just basically started the testing. So that's basically the schedule for lift station 19, so we finished in mid-May. Any questions, or I guess going on to Quatis Pump Station and Pipeline? The Quatis Pump Station happens to be at 54% complete as well. They poured the concrete slab for the new pump house, and they're currently working on the formwork for the concrete walls. The form may be scheduled for Friday, and their April work includes the new pump house construction and the underground meter vault installation and underground piping work. And for the pipeline portion of work, that one's at 90% complete. Cornette's already approaching the pump station side on FM 2480, so he's just working on the tying there of the pump station itself to finish out the work. And then he'll be pressure testing and installing the last one whatever we found. That's what we're at the pump station.
When do you think it'll be completed, though?
What's that?
Pipeline, when do you think it's gonna be completed?
Oh, the pipeline, oh gosh, a couple of weeks away. He's installing the last couple of 100 feet, and then we're gonna pressure test, some point probably next week. and then do the tie-in to the existing lines. So we're getting real close.
Great. When do we look, when are they gonna go online, do you think, Charles?
Which one, the pump station, the new pump station, or the pipeline?
Filtration plant.
Oh, the filtration, I was thinking about 2-3 weeks. Right now, one of the air compressors went down, or actually both are down, and one should be back up.
Brand new one.
No, they're just replacing, the Atlas
Okay.
is coming down to replace some of the gears. They have some internal part in their compressor that they're troubleshooting. One should be back up tomorrow, and then commission will be back on schedule, and the second one should be back up by the end of the week. And so that probably pushes us to, at the end of that week from the April 7th to whatever that Friday is, basically, that's when they'll be disinfected at that point, and then we'll be feeding the microfiltration actually into the distribution system. And then our week training is, for operators, is scheduled April 14th to 18th.
So what's your guesstimate on the timeline of the delayed final of that construction?
For the microfiltration to come online, we're talking about 3 weeks away or 2 weeks away.
But how delayed do you think that project will ultimately be? It was January was the completion, right?
Well, from the original schedule, for fall system, they always had about an April completion. Then we had 90 days of testing, but that's going to be close after we already have this microfiltration in production. And so we're pretty close to being on schedule. Maybe a couple of weeks would be about the max.
Well, we had quite a few rain days this year, ironically.
Yeah, but they're working inside right now. Right now it's just troubleshooting. Like this air compressor was one, the clean in place pump, that's another one they're still troubleshooting. But those are the last 2 items to be able to disinfect and then be able to feed it into the clear well. And then the thing is, for them to really do their final testing, we need to have it online because they have to run up both pumps and push more flow. Right now everything's recirculating, they can't get those higher flows to really test it out. So at that point, once at the end of the week, we have the air compressors fixed, we've troubleshooted the clean in place pumps. Basically by the latter half of next week, we're doing the disinfection, and then the week after, we're actually already feeding our distribution system with microfiltration.
Is the current filtration system going to be operable while the microfiltration system
No, once microfiltration
is in the testing phase?
No, because it'll already be good. It'll be producing clean water. Right now, we're just going to see how hard we can push it as far as to test it to confirm that it can put the 7 to 8 million gallons per day into the system. And so, but basically, since there's a different contact time study for a disinfection study for the dual media filters versus microfiltration. When microfiltration comes online, the dual media filters get turned off, and then we disinfect with the microfiltration process in place.
Well, the reason I ask is because it's a new system. If something happens in the beginning and it breaks down, shuts down, or something, do we have the other one?
Yes, we can. It's basically they can, by operating one system or the other, it's just opening and closing a valve.
Yep.
Any other items or?
Cover the Series 2007 and 12 bond project update balances?
Yeah, I see that.
Thank you.
I want you to talk slow, I don't think very fast.
Yeah, I'll take it slow. Thank you. This way might be easier. So this is an update, on our 2007, 2012 series bonds, and this is, just the revision that included checking it against our bank accounts to make sure what we're saying our balance is consistent with, what we have in our cash accounts and the CDs. So, and then it's also just been updated for the last month of invoices. Like, for example, on the line item in the 2007 series, water and wastewater lines replacement, if you notice under the fiscal year 14, that $328,000, that was the invoice from In Situ Form for doing the cured in place pipe in Laguna Vista. And so I think we're at a good stopping point there, and the remaining balance, we're just going to go ahead and be working with some additional sewer rehab that we'll still identify here in the future. And of course, we still got the $100,000 there for the raw water line to the high school. And you know, we have the committed part is already in the existing purchase orders to complete lift station 19 and purchase some additional valves for a valve replacement program. So the unassigned balance, you know, for 2007 series bond is right now it's at $771,000. And so, just going on to 2012, we have just the updated the Coates pump station and pipeline for the last invoices that were paid, plus the committed amounts, the existing contracts that are under construction and open purchase orders. There's some balance that's in there, you know, in the event of a final change order or whatever may come up. This is these balances for the water distribution and wastewater collection pipelines. They were adjusted to account for that transfer that we did to cover, you know, engineering expenses prior to the bond being issued. And so this is basically corrected to reflect an accurate balance that we have in the Series 2012 bond money. And then again, the final item for microfiltration improvements is just the committed amount is the open purchase orders to complete construction. That's an update on the balance. Any other questions? Yeah, that completes the engineering report.
Any other questions or comments for Charles at this time?
I do
Yes.
have a question that probably can't be answered right now with the people from Outdoor Resorts here. Do you guys have a guess at how many gallons a month you use on your greens, as far as what you could convert to irrigation? Oh, well, it's just a question, you know, I'm not trying to hold your feet to the fire.
There should be a record because it's separated from our sewer system.
Oh, it'll be there someplace. All you gotta do is check your water bill. I didn't realize you guys were been here. I'd have called you earlier and said, bring us some numbers.
We didn't provide that.
Charles, you know.
Yeah, it's on their bill consumption.
You guys do realize that you're gonna have to do a tremendous amount of renovation in your piping system if we put this stuff over there, because you can't put it into your regular water line. Okay.
Right, and just for their 2011 bill consumption at the golf course, it's about 63 acre-feet per year.
Well, there's no point having them think they
It's
got,
the estimate
you
between
know.
the Little League and the majority of the golf course. That's what we're looking at.
At the present time, we are prepared for, we did an in-house study with the management, and we are prepared that at the moment, only additional thing that we needed was an additional water meter. All that system goes independently from the houses, the irrigation.
Right. Oh, it is totally
Yeah,
independent?
it's independent.
What's going into the house is independent on the irrigation side?
That's correct. We already did a study with our management.
Somebody was actually thinking about something when they did that.
Exactly.
That's unbelievable.
Thank goodness it's,
Yeah. Better off than the golf course guys.
We are prepared. We are prepared. Green light.
Well, that's good, because, yeah, you can use raw water for irrigation.
And one time we were concerned about the letter locks, which are the backlots that were connected, and we did a little study on it, management did, and they are on a separate system. So we're good to go.
Good to know.
Okay, at this time, item 13, executive session, permitted by Open Meetings Act, VTCA Government Code Section 551001, et sequence under Section 551071. 1A, consultation with attorney, Section 551072, deliberation about pending litigation. Item A, discussion liquidated damages for Water Plant 2 microfiltration improvements, operations, and maintenance building. Can I get a motion to go into an executive session at this time?
Request a 5-minute break. Your Honor, Your Holiness.
Can we go into executive and then go into, take a 5-minute break?
Take a recess.
Yeah, go in executive.
Motion to go into executive session? Do we get a motion? I didn't get the first. Was that a motion by
There was
Mr.
a
Thomas?
motion and a second,
Okay.
yes, I thought we
Motion,
did.
first motion made by Mr. Thomas, second by Mr. Vella. Are all those in favor? We are now officially in executive session, taking a 5-minute break. I'd like to thank everyone for being here this evening. Thank you for your comments and coming forward to the board.